which of these two smartphones takes the best daylight images and videos? Well, that's what we are trying to find out today. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today we are doing a daylight comparison between S20 FE 5G and M52 5G. I've taken a lot of camera samples of daytime images and videos shot on both of these smartphones, which will be discussed in detail in this video, so watch this video till the end. The low light comparison is already on my channel, and here's a link. Go watch that and see if you are interested in the low light performance of these phones, because we'll not be covering it in this video. With that out of the way, let's start this camera comparison. Samsung M52 5G comes with 12 megapixel ultra-wide, a 64 megapixel main camera sensor, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. It's good that Samsung included the 5 megapixel macro camera, but it's just average, just like every other macro camera in this price segment. You can get decent shots like this in plenty of light, and to top it all off, you can't even capture macro video with this camera. M52 in general takes decent videos when there is ample light present, like video taken from the ultra-wide camera came out to be very good. Same observation can be made with the main camera as well, except that the dynamic range here is a tad bit better. This zoomed in video taken in 4K 30fps looks really bad. From the front-facing camera, full HD 1080p samples were recorded in HDR mode on both of these phones, and you can see that S20 FE has more detail in sky as well as in shadow, which is typically what HDR is used for. M52 5G, even though has HDR video option on, it cannot match S20 FE, as you can clearly see that the sky is blown out and there is less detail in shadow areas too. Color also looked true to life in S20 FE 5G, like my jacket is not brown in color as shown in M52 5G. Stabilization in front-facing camera is on par on both of these smartphones. When you switch to Full HD video recording at the back, the picture remains the same. Both of these smartphones also have super steady mode, and I am running in this clip. M52 5G is not doing as good as S20 FE 5G. There is no stabilization in 4K 30fps video on Samsung M52 5G, and when I start running while recording video, S20 FE 5G destroys M52 5G completely. Daytime shots captured on M52 5G and S20 FE 5G looks almost similar on phone screens, but when you start to zoom in, you notice that there is a lot more dynamic range present in S20 FE 5G shots, despite M52 5G having a bigger 64 megapixel camera sensor on paper. Details in both of these shots are on par, and I think in daytime shots captured on the main sensor, I will give a slight edge to S20 FE 5G because of the better dynamic range. Now looking at the ultra-wide camera shots taken from S20 FE 5G, you can clearly see that M52 5G can't compete due to optimization issue. It just does not have the dynamic range compared to S20 FE 5G. S20 FE 5G has captured a lot of detail in the shot. For example, look at the leaves of the tree here. It looks like a mess in the pic taken from M52 5G. Finally, comparing the zoom shots in S20 FE 5G with 3x optical lens and M52 5G with digital cropping from the 64 megapixel sensor, it's not even close. S20 FE 5G has the better details when zooming in because it's using an actual optical lens instead of a digital crop. Though M52 5G looks decent through oversharpening and bigger sensor used by the Samsung, but it still can't match the optical lens performance of S20 FE 5G. Taking a look at the HDR performance of both of these cameras, we see that the black crush issue returns to haunt M52 5G. This confirms that Samsung will have to fix the optimization issue with the stock app of M52 5G. S20 FE 5G has clearly exposed the HDR scene very well, and dynamic range is excellent. Details also look sharp if you zoom into the image shot on S20 FE 5G. Same story continues with ultra-wide camera pictures taken on both of these smartphones, where S20 FE 5G just produces a pleasant HDR image overall. It's a very unfortunate situation that Samsung has yet not released an update of the camera app on M52 5G, and users buying this otherwise good phone will have to deal with this issue. While comparing the zoom shots, S20 FE 5G with 3x optical lens takes the lead, and M52 5G with digital cropping cannot even come close. Even with HDR mode on, S20 FE 5G has better details, and M52 5G looks like it's over sharpening the image to give an illusion of being a detailed picture. Now this is a portrait shot taken from the main camera of both of these smartphones, and you can clearly see M52 5G struggles a lot in maintaining a bright detailed image with good cutout as compared to S20 FE 5G that has aced this tricky situation. For example, look to the edges of the bag and hair outline of the portrait, which looks better in image shot on S20 FE 5G. Moving on to the front-facing camera of these smartphones, in ample light and no HDR situation, M52 5G performs almost as good as S20 FE 5G. However, the colors are a bit on the cooler side, whereas S20 FE 5G gives you the true accurate colors in the scene. For example, the jacket I am wearing is not brown as shown in M52 5G, and M52 5G also sharpens the detail a lot to make it look more detailed in this situation. But if we turn to a very high dynamic range situation, S20 FE 5G is clearly the winner. You can clearly see that there are details in the clouds as well as there are details in my goggles which are in the shadows. So the dynamic range on S20 FE 5G is just far more greater than M52 5G. M52 has again over sharpened the image like it did previously, which doesn't work to its advantage in this scenario. Well, that concludes my camera comparison between S20 FE 5G and M52 5G. If you're looking for the absolute best camera between both of these devices, I'd suggest you go for S20 FE 5G. Not only would you get a better camera, you'll get IP68 rating, wireless charging, and a flagship grade processor. But if you can't stretch your budget to S20 FE 5G, M52 5G offers a decent camera performance. Its issues, which there are some, are mainly because of the software not being optimized by Samsung. And I really think in a quarter, this phone's camera performance is gonna improve as in when Samsung provides the update to its stock camera app. Till then, if you want good camera performance out of your M52 5G, I highly recommend you use Google Camera with this phone and extract the best out of the hardware given by Samsung in M52 5G. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, drop a comment down below. Also, if you want to know anything about M52 5G, drop a comment down below. I'm going to make a compilation video of all the frequently asked questions about M52 5G and drop it on my channel in a couple of days. That's all for the video, guys. I hope to see you all in my next video.